So today we're going to be installing this product, which is the maXpeedingrods 5-inch fog light spotlight combination with side shooters. This is a product I saw on Amazon. They look pretty cool. On a budget, this is something that I can afford. So, and based on my first look, I think that these are going to be something that I can install pretty easily myself. And I'm pretty excited about doing that. So this is going to be a little bit of the install, and then the testing, and then a before and after to show you what it looks like. Comparison to the old fog lights, the factory ones. So hopefully this all comes out. Unboxing and first look at the maXpeedingrods 5-inch instruction book. Product. We have mounting bolts, grill covers, and I just like to say, first of all, this box is about 12 or 15 pounds. It's not light in weight. I got the matte finish in the 5-inch size. On these, I would have to say at least half the width is venting. These are already mounted, and this is a very thick mounting bracket. A fixture already attached to it with about 15 inches on that. What we got here? Wow. So looks like a relay. We do have a relay. It's a 40 amp relay. Typical. Nice leads. Power lead has inline fuse, which is a 20. I would say that this lead is about 12 to 15 inches before you get to the relay, which we have 3 feet of lead from the split. So where this comes in, 3, 4, 5 feet to the relay, which is a very large amount, and it's insulated really well. And no, these are actually the base of each of the lights. This is great. So yeah, everything you need. They're heavy. They're at least a pound each, maybe more. Okay, I'm just looking at this light. The switch itself, which goes through the firewall, they are smart. They have fitted this with a special connector that's going to go through most firewalls. This is for the switch, which is going to be dash mounted. This is awesome. I cannot believe how complete this kit is. As heavy as these chassis are, which are fully metal, this lens is plastic, and it will take damage like plastic will. maXpeedingrods. These are the 5-inchers. Again, these are very attractive. They're heavy. So the first thing we're going to do is remove the stock ones. And this is going to kind of be a pain. I had the dealership undercoat or spray this vehicle when I first bought it, and it's got a heavy duty amount of sealant. I got to get all that off, and I got to get this connector. I want to preserve this attachment. All right, so the lights are off. I got lucky. I was able to preserve the connectors. It was a mess. Also got lucky in that the bolts are exactly the same size as the factory ones, so I don't have to drill new holes. That's nice. So now that I'm looking at this, I measured wrong during the unboxing. And to the split, which is here, is 3 feet. To the join, it's actually 75 inches, which is just over 6 feet. Also, from the relay out is a bit longer than I said it was. It's 7 feet to the split, where they put that split in the connector. And another, I'm going to say just over 10 feet. Also, this is made of metal. Just dinged it up right there, screwing around, but yeah. Also then, you have the light itself, which has a ponytail on it. And that's 16 inches right there. So add that to 3 feet, and you get about 4.5 feet to wherever you put these from the split. So that's about 9 feet apart. So I've got a temporary solution. I mounted the relay on the fender well. There was a couple of pre-drilled holes down there. Took advantage of one of them, which comes out right there. And there's going to be a lot of loose wire, a lot of extra wire from this kit, many feet, so I'll probably bundle it and just drop it right on the side by the fender well. And I'm going to ground everything permanently with a couple of buses, and I'm going to stick those behind the battery for positive and negative. That's coming in next week, so I'm doing something temporary until that. I'm just going to wire directly to the battery for positive and negative. So we ran the wire for the switch through the firewall here, because this is already a pretty nice spot. I know it, and you could just encourage it with a little drill, and it goes right through, and then just ran that across the top to the relay. So where this comes in is just up and left of the clutch pedal, and possibly you could see the connector. I put some electrical tape on the end of it so it's protected, but that's where it's going to sit. And then I'll simply, to finish this off, I'll just run it along, the firewall, and I'll pick a switch location. I decided to put the switch here. There's kind of a nice spot for it. Has double sticky tape, but if you wanted to, there's 2 spots for screws if you really wanted to put it in there, but I'm pretty happy with that location. So this is what they look like on there. I fed the wiring through the bottom tray. I have a winch cable fighting for space on that feed, and then obviously just through the fenders. And for now, I just kind of bundled things up and tied them up back here. Fuses here until I get my bus so I can consolidate those connections better. I guess the only thing left to do now is turn it on and test it, and I'll do that shortly as it's getting dark. So we just finished the install. I'd just like to say that the whole kit is very sorted. All the way from thinking this connection through the firewall, the way that the lights are physically mounted is well thought out. It's not going anywhere. These lights are in great place. The fuse, the relay, the whole, there's plenty of wire. There's a generous amount of wire, and probably I wrapped up 3 feet on the main line and 2 feet on the each of the ends, and there's lots of room. I have to say that the switch, I went all the way across the firewall and all the way back to the center console to mount it. I used every bit of the switch wire. I could have drilled a hole in the firewall on the passenger side and saved myself a lot of headache, but I didn't want to go into something like the heater core or something like that. I just want to get this done today. I would say it's 75% done right the way I want it to. All I have to really do is finish it, is put the steel zip ties in there instead of the temporary zip ties that I've got. But other than that, in testing they work, and we're going to go out right now and see how they perform.